All right, here we are. We're ready to get things started here on Elite Stars. Queen Beast is kicking us off. Queen is ready to face off against a foe who is not seen one-on-one competition with here in Champions Alliance Wrestling. Definitely going to see a very good matchup. It is likely we will see stuff we never saw before with a new competitor entering the ring here tonight. The shrew queen of the CAW, as she is referred to by the CAW universe. Nightbloom V now making her way to the ring for one-on-one competition here. Just ready to face off. Looks to be in good spirits and ready for a good fight. I expect a very, very good matchup here today to get us started on Elite Stars. Here we go, match number one, ready to get underway. Bit of a back and forth here early on. We'll be seeing many matches in her past, but not sure if any are as quite a big of a mystery as Nightbloom has been since her arrival here. Not quite sure what to expect. Beast probably going to have to be on her A game here tonight if she wants to be able to get a win over the newcomer. Nightbloom V off the backed up against the ropes now, and Queen Beast sets up. She back to her feet. Nightbloom with a beautifully placed drop kick and a big backhand slap to the face of Queen, sign of disrespect. As Queen Beast looks at much of the roster as her royal subjects, as more so than her competition, I guess. Queen Beast with a big backbreaker now. Beast looks to perhaps apply submission, but it's not going to work. Nightbloom back to her feet. Looked like a powerbomb setup. Turned into a face-first splash for Queen Beast. Queen Beast on the receiving end. Well executed by Nightbloom V. In control at this point. Hooks the leg, looking for the 3 count. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Big drop kick to the back while Queen Beast is trying to gather her thoughts here. He's looking a little bit dazed as he's on the receiving end of some very heavy-handed shots here. Nightbloom, whoa! Nightbloom showing us some Very acrobatic maneuvers here. A big splash, but it misses from the top rope, and that is going to be costly as she gets caught in a German suplex. Leg is hooked. 2 and Queen kicks out by Nightbloom V. Perhaps not able to get the momentum she'd like to here early on in this matchup. And again with a spinning, flying DDT. And she delivers a German suplex right back. Seems that everything that Queen Beast has tried, Nightbloom has answered back. 2 and no. Elbows there, driving in hard. Stomps down hard on the elbow. Queen Beast is not in a favorable position right now. Bloom clearly in control of most of this matchup as she continues to keep the pace. 2 and no. Nightbloom sends Queen into the turnbuckle. Queen manages to escape, but is it enough? Wow, drop down hard onto that knee. That is going to add a lot of pressure to the left leg of Queen Beast. Big knee drop by Nightbloom. Queen Beast backed into a corner and she manages to escape. And Nightbloom V with a cover and a 2 count. Hasn't been able to keep down the 3 count after multiple pin attempts, however, still continues to keep momentum in her favor. Nightbloom with a beautifully placed reverse DDT. Nightbloom making short work of Queen Beast here this week. However, you absolutely cannot underestimate the ability of Queen Beast to get back in this. Nightbloom V has to stay focused for the entirety of this match. Slides through. Wow! Nightbloom very impressive here today on Elite Stars. Looks the leg, this could be it. 1, 2, and wow, very close to that 3 count, but still the frustration perhaps starting to overtake Nightbloom. Nightbloom sets up. And that could be it for Queen Beast. 3 count. Nightbloom V comes through with a big win here today on Elite Stars. I'm not sure what she calls that finisher, but at any rate, it certainly got the job done here today on Elite Stars. Nightbloom V victorious this week after facing off against Queen Beast. A great matchup indeed to get us started here on Elite Stars. Get ready, the matchups continue, as up next we will see the brand new debut of one of the newest competitors in Champions Alliance Wrestling. Up next, middle-aged nerd faces off against Masuda. All right, let the bets begin. Saw for a moment backstage these two apparently cross paths. You were unaware of any relationship between these two. However, we have come to find out during his training in Japan, middle-aged nerd had made his way through Osaka and come in contact with another competitor. The other competitor's name, none other than Masuda. Masuda had been training in Osaka for quite some time, and let me tell you, apparently from what we understand, these two have developed quite the rivalry, which was completely unknown to us. Very familiar with middle-aged nerds training in Japan, however, we not familiar at all with Masuda, so these two do have a past. We don't really know what it consists of or what is behind it. But it is interesting. We are interested in finding out more about how these two know each other. We've heard from various sources that Masuda is a very interesting individual. It'll be interesting to see what he brings here to Elite Stars in his debut. Then he debuted, of course, on the Breakout, and right to Elite Stars. Masuda is looking for a big win here against someone he has a history with, and that is none other than Middle-Aged Nerd. This is going to be one heck of a matchup. And get ready. What is happening right now here in this arena? The debut of Masuda. Very odd looking individual indeed, however. You've been told that his appearance is very, very odd. However, as far as competition goes, he is one of the best in the world. We've been told that he has completely annihilated many people who have standing in his path. Will take time to be proven. We will see here today on Elite Stars as he faces off against apparently a well-known opponent, and he looks ready to go. Masuda ready to face off. Falls count anywhere. Middle-aged nerd starts off with the right hand. Middle-aged nerd with a nice drop kick off the ropes. And I can tell you firsthand the look and the expression on the face of middle-aged nerd backstage when he crossed paths and realized that Masuda was here. It was like seeing a ghost, or just an expression you can't explain. There was no doubt a deeper underlying story with the history between middle-aged nerd and Masuda. Masuda working middle-aged nerd down here early on. Nice backbreaker now. Masuda with a pin and 2 and a near 3 early on here in this matchup. Big right hand now as middle-aged nerd tries to recover. Masuda back to his feet, and this fight is going all the way out to the aisle. The ref follows, and remember, falls count anywhere. Middle-aged nerd with the pin. The 1 count is all he's gonna see here. Masuda throws the chair away. Double waistlock takedown now as Masuda tries to regain control. Big chin breaker now. Masuda gets caught. Nice Samoan drop. Well scouted by middle-aged nerd. Middle-aged nerd again with the chair. Multiple chair shots. Masuda trying to take the chair out of the picture. Nice back neck breaker there. Masuda back to his feet. Trying to regain control here. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and a 2. Big knee drop. Masuda comes down hard on the head of middle-aged nerd. And now he hooks the leg again, going for the pin, looking for a big win here today in his debut on Elite Stars. A big win in his debut would be huge. 2. A big win here in his debut would be huge for momentum and just an absolute way to send ripples through the CAW universe. Middle-aged nerd now with a cover and a kick out at 2. Middle-aged nerd showing signs of wearing Masuda back to his feet. Oh, what? Whoa! Whoa! I've heard about this! I've heard about this. This is called The War's End. And that's it. That is it. The War's End. With a pin in the aisle. Masuda, devastating win in his debut. Absolutely devastating fashion. Wow. The War's End is what we were told. Keep an eye out for this. Absolutely devastating. Unbelievable. The War's End, however, I have a feeling the disdain between these two goes much deeper. And the battle may have ended, but the war has just begun. And there we see again that devastating move face first down on the steel ramp. Wow. And look at the scars, covered in scars. This is without a doubt one disturbing individual. All right, an absolutely great debut by Masuda. Up next, triple threat matchup. Archie Lee versus Evoke and P-Crack. Get those bets in. Use those crowns. Let's see. We ran into backstage. We ran into P-Crack. P-Crack saying he has apparently cleansed himself. We're not entirely sure what that means. However, he's not. He's a different person. He seems like P-Crack that we remember before this sort of Reaper thing overcame. And it looks like he is back and he is ready for action. P-Crack, apparently, from what he has told me, briefly speaking, backstage before Elite Stars, and I believe we can quote him as saying, "The Reaper still has my back." I don't know what exactly that means, but this looks like the P-Crack that we have seen many, many moons ago in the independent leagues. And it is definitely great to see him back here in Champions Alliance Wrestling. Let's get started. tell you, someone who isn't happy to see P-Crack back, and I would bet that is this man, Archie Lee. We'll be looking for a big win here, perhaps trying to get into contention for that Champions Alliance Wrestling Intercontinental title. It's been held in such high regard here in Champions Alliance Wrestling. Speaking of the Intercontinental Champ, we will see him in action in a non-title matchup later on this evening, as well as the Champions Alliance Wrestling World Champion will be in action in a non-title match later on this evening. But for now, Archie Lee is getting us started in this triple threat matchup. The bearded one now, Evoke. The founder of Beard Nation, Beard Glove. This man is absolutely loved by the CAW universe. And his Game Over slogan has, without a doubt, left its mark on wrestling around the entire world. Will he be able to hit that game over here today? And here we go. This is the return. Uh-oh, whoa! Whoa! What is going on? The lights are out here. It is pitch black. And here's P-Crack. P-Crack is back. The original P-Crack. Wow. Looking unbelievably focused. It certainly is good, rather, to see P-Crack back after a be considered a very long departure to somewhere very dark depths of the inner soul. I am unsure what happened there, but it is good to see P-Crack back in action. Here we go, triple threat matchup underway. Wow. And this is a side of P-Crack I wasn't sure if we would ever see again, however. P-Crack. Oh, wow. P-Crack takes a shot. And another one. As Archie Lee immediately goes for a sledgehammer underneath the ring. Knows that there is no disqualification here in this triple threat matchup. Evo trying to use that sledgehammer, but it's used against him as P-Crack manages to get it out of the grasp of Evo. Now P-Crack has it. Wow, clothesline by Archie Lee flattens him out. Evoke with a nice takedown on the big, powerful Archie Lee. P-Crack with the sledgehammer now, using it, driving in the back of the leg. Evoke headed to the top rope. Already, wow. Evoke from the top. Cross body splash. Now it looks like P-Crack is working on the leg. Wow, things got out of control really quick here today. Wow, big chop. P-Crack lays into Evoke. Now P-Crack with that sledgehammer going to work on both Archie Lee and Evoke. P-Crack hooks the leg. Wow! Archie Lee pulling a new trick out of his arsenal here. Archie Lee and Evoke just going to work on P-Crack. The welcome wagon has been rolled out by Evoke and Archie Lee. P-Crack gets hit. Off guard. Archie Lee tries to go to work. P-Crack manages to get out of the way. And Archie Lee recovers. Archie Lee setting up. Oh, wow. Archie Lee gets caught off guard. And Evoke from behind. P-Crack gonna look to slip in for a cover. And Evoke's gonna drive in and break that up. P-Crack goes back to the sledgehammer. Deep into the midsection of Evoke. P-Crack going to work here. Archie Lee picking up that sledgehammer now. Things are getting ugly. Uh-oh. P-Crack sets up. Wow. Big backbreaker. Evoke now with a combination. And nice right hands. Evoke with a cover on P-Crack now. Wow, these two are really taking it to P-Crack here. P-Crack to the outside of the apron. Archie Lee turns his focus on Evoke. This might be a great opportunity for P-Crack to gather himself. Wow! Big gut wrench suplex by the powerful Archie Lee. Archie Lee looking for the cover on P-Crack, and it's going to be broken up. Wow! Evoke swinging Archie Lee around, dropping him gut first onto the knee. Uh-oh. P-Crack looking for the DDT, but Archie Lee somehow managing to escape and into the choke. Here we go. Wow! The powerful Lee hammer hits. And Evoke now setting up. Catching Archie Lee off guard. And here's Evoke. Evoke calling for game over. Spinning back kick to the midsection. P-Crack off the ropes. Into a drop kick and another. Big swinging neck breaker now as Evoke goes on an offensive. Spinning back fist to Archie Lee. Evoke looks for the cover. 1, 2. No, Archie Lee managing to kick out at the count of 2. P-Crack back to his feet. Evoke. Reverse neck breaker. Wow. Archie Lee slowly gets back to his feet. Evoke sets up. Game over. Archie Lee is down. He cracks slowly back to his feet. He cracked with an opportunity here. He crack sets up. That could be it. Big backbreaker. No! Evoke recovers, and Archie Lee gets ready. There it is! Uh-oh. Whoa! Evoke hits a shoulder breaker, and P-Crack now gets a second win. Spinning back fist by Evoke. P-Crack going to work. Evoke with a pin. And no, so close. P-Crack just kicks out in time. One of the closest we've ever seen. P-Crack now sets up. P-Crack! What is that? P-Crack sets up. Archie Lee back to his feet. Archie Lee with a big captured power slam there. It's broken up by P-Crack. P-Crack now turning his focus. Go to sleep! Archie Lee gets split wide open. Evoke gets caught. P-Crack with a whip. Sends Evoke to the apron. Chin breaker reversal now as Archie Lee tries to gain himself. Game over! Game over! P-Crack is split wide open. This is an absolute mess. P-Crack takes Evoke to the top. Wow, from the top. Archie Lee is back to his feet. P-Crack headed to the outside now. What does P-Crack have planned? P-Crack with the baseball bat, and it's taken by Archie Lee. Archie Lee nails P-Crack and Evoke with the baseball bat. Evoke with a back neck breaker now. And Evoke, the only one standing, goes for the cover. 2, 3, Evoke with a huge win. Wow, unbelievable matchup here today. Evoke comes out on top. Absolute mess. Evoke leaving a bloody mess in his wake. Unbelievable matchup here today on Elite Stars. And this is what Elite Stars is all about. Unbelievable matchups like this. Wow, check out some of these replays. This match was absolutely brutal. And we did not expect an all-out brawl like we got. Wow, unbelievable matchup. He certainly did not disappoint here today on Elite Stars. What an incredible day we have had so far. From an incredible victory by newcomer in the women's division, Nightbloom V, to the huge debut of an absolutely brutal, devastating Masuda. And now, a big win by Evoke as we move into matchup number 4. Alley Cat and Kitty Styles versus My Lady Balls and Beastie Rar. Kitty Club versus Beard Nation. And here we go. Getting a started Kitty Club on their way to the ring. And Beard Nation has arrived. My Lady Balls, the women's champion, and Beastie Rar. And after this past week's win on Battle Zone over Kitty Club, Beastie Rar and My Lady Balls are looking very confident in the ring today. We are ready for tag team action here in the women's division. Champions Alliance Wrestling, Elite Stars. Let's get the matchup underway. Alley Cat getting started here early on. MLB on top. On the receiving end there of a big shot to the knee. Alley Cat now trying to find an opening here. Whip off the ropes. My Lady Balls. Nice reversal now. Big pump handle slam there. My Lady Balls gets the tag. Beastie Rar gets ready. She's immediately going to work on Alley Cat. Wow, big takedown by Beastie. Beastie on the offensive now. Chin break reversal as Alley Cat manages to recover. Can Alley Cat continue the momentum? Big running kick to the midsection as Beastie goes down. Suplex now. Alley Cat looking for the tag. In comes Kitty Styles. Of course, these two groups perhaps banding together, realizing that would likely be outnumbered if anybody actually had done any sort of tag teams. And here we are. Kitty Club and Weird Nation. Kitty Styles working on Beastie now, trying to wear down Beastie. Beastie with a nice reversal, a hip toss. First off the ropes and a nice drop kick now. As Beastie manages to turn the tables. But it's not enough. Kitty Styles recovers. She's back to her feet and she gets the tag in to Alley Cat. Alley Cat, wow! On the receiving end of a couple of well-placed chops by Beastie, and she tags in the women's champ, My Lady Balls. My Lady Balls continues exactly where Beastie left off. Alley Cat finds an opening and slam reversed. My Lady Balls manages to escape and goes for the cover now. Leg is hooked. 2. And a kick out at 2. Kitty Styles now taking My Lady Balls. Wow! Big arm drag from the second rope. That is a long way down. My Lady Balls now goes back on the defensive as Kitty Styles begins to take control of this matchup. Kitty Styles will cover. 2. And wow, almost a 3 count there. My Lady Balls manages to kick out. Kitty Styles with a kick to the face. My Lady Balls gets caught. This could be it. 2. No, a 2 count. MLB with another kick out. Kitty Styles with the crucifix takedown now. This is a bad position for My Lady Balls. And a reversal. My Lady Balls just manages to escape and tosses Kitty Styles by the hair. The tag comes into Beastie. Kitty Styles trying to get back on course, and a big power bomb. Kitty Styles with a pop-up power bomb. Kitty Styles sets up. Suplex is blocked by Beastie. Big kick to the head. Kitty Styles goes down. Beastie looks for the cover. 2 and a kick out at 2. Beastie sets up. We couldn't see Firestorm. There it is. The cover. The leg is hooked. And nearly a 3 count. Alley Cat tries to get in there to break it up, but MLB catches and hits with a huge DDT. And MLB sends Alley Cat to the outside. Kitty Styles breaks free from the hold and is back to her feet. Beastie now back on the offensive. MLB and Alley Cat continue to go at it on the outside. Beastie sets up. Wow, what is this? Knee and Kitty Styles as she's strung up over the top rope. Beastie with a suplex to the outside, and it's blocked by Kitty Styles. Nice reversal. Kitty Styles manages to prevent any further damage. Kitty Styles heads back into the ring as the count reaches 6. And this could be very bad for Beastie. Beastie very dazed on the outside here. What was that? The ref got in the way and looks like he might have tripped Kitty Styles. Kitty Styles with a nice, well-executed snap suplex. 2. Kitty Styles with a pin attempt, but it's not enough to win the match. Kitty Club continues their assault against Beer Nation, but will it be enough to get them the win here? Alley Cat moving in on Beastie. Beastie with a boot to the midsection. Alley Cat with a couple of right hands as she tries to escape. And wow, what looked like a shot from Beastie turned into a nice reversal by Alley Cat. Alley Cat gonna crank on the knee there and work on the leg. My Lady Balls get sent to the outside by Kitty Styles. Alley Cat creeping up on Beastie. Wow! Devastating series of headbutts by Alley Cat. Beastie into the turnbuckle. Corkscrew moonsault. Leg is hooked. MLB comes in. MLB breaks it up. That could have been it. That could have been it. Kitty Styles sends MLB back to the outside again. Alley Cat sets up here. Alley Cat sets up. Double underhook backbreaker. That could be it. Alley Cat with the cover. And again, My Lady Ball's there to break up the pin. Kitty Styles obviously not too happy, as again she sends MLB back to the outside, but gives Beastie an opportunity. Can they steal the win? No! A 2 count. Beastie now seems to be in control here late in this matchup. Alley Cat with a reversal puts Beastie into the corner. Swinging DDT from the second rope. Alley Cat with a devastating maneuver, and there's the tag. In comes Kitty Styles, and Beastie slowly trying to make her way back to the corner. Will she have enough to get the tag? Kitty Styles gonna cut her off. Drop face first. Snake eyes onto that top turnbuckle. AJ Styles from the top. Cross body. Big splash from the top rope. I don't know how much more of this beastie can take. Big kick to the face. Beastie goes down. AJ Styles looking for the cover. My Lady Balls yet again there to break it up. She's going to have to be very careful. AJ Styles setting up. AJ Styles. AJ Styles. Styles bomb. 2. No. Beastie somehow finding a way to kick out at the very last moment. Beastie sets up Kitty into the corner. AJ Styles kicks Beastie away. Drop kick from the top rope. Beastie with a reversal. Nice reverse in the Kitty Club corner. And this is not the side you want to be on if you are Beastie. In comes the tag and Alley Cat's ready to go. Again, Beastie being completely cut off from her corner and getting that tag in. Wow! Beastie manages to break free. And she's looking, the tag comes in. My Lady Balls gets the tag. Finally. Oh, like suplex now. And Beastie's there to break it up. Alley Cat putting My Lady Balls into the corner. Corkscrew shot. Down goes My Lady Balls. And this could be it. 2, 3 count. Kitty Club comes out with a big win. And it's one apiece for each of these teams. Kitty Club evening things up at one apiece here today on Elite Stars against Beard Nation. An interesting turn of events here, as just this past week on Battlezone, these two were on the receiving end, and this week they come out on top. I have a feeling this could be an all-out war. And up next, the Intercontinental Champion will face off against Standish in a non-title matchup. After a very controversial ending this past week, these two will face off once again here on Elite Stars. We are currently looking for new people for the breakout roster. We're looking for tag teams. Tag teams have to be two individual people as a team in the chat, sort of thing, and team them up in the game. Also, we are looking for female competitors as well. If you know any women who are into the game, who have characters uploaded, and are interested in interactive universes, definitely send them on in. Tell them to check us out. No subscription is required to get into the breakout. If you want priority, say for example, right now you're looking to get into the singles competition. You don't have any current openings right now. However, subscribers will get priority openings, and obviously we will actually design a character for you if needed. So type !, sub into the chat for more details. Here we are ready to get the next matchup underway. Again, after last week's very controversial ending, I'm very interested to see what will become of this week's matchup with the Intercontinental Champ. This is one dangerous individual has proven to us after winning the Intercontinental Championship from Shinchi Max. And this man is no doubt upset after last week's huge controversial loss at the hands of White Boy V. Ref not catching the ropes. Dan Diz grabbing the ropes to break the pin. However, the referee did not see it, continued to count. That does not look like the face of a happy individual there. And I can't say that I would feel much different after a loss at the hands of a referee who apparently can't see what's happening in the ring. Let's get ready to get this matchup underway. Dan Diz with a big kick to the face on the outside is he can just starts right away. Right on the outside of the ring, and things could get ugly. Dan Diz with a whip off the ropes. And Diz misses. And a big spinning forearm now as White Boy V goes to work. Suplex blocked. Reversed. And Diz really going at it here early on. As many of you may or may not be aware, keep in mind that we are working on currently getting a matchup set between Dan Diz, aka myself, and Juno. A beard versus beard matchup. Beardageddon. Real life beards will be on the line. And the loser will have to shave their beard. Keep an eye out for that. Give us a follow on Twitter at CAWrestling TV. Don't forget to follow us over there so you'll know all the up-to-date details as soon as they get announced. And down goes Dan Diz to ringside. Dan Diz now with some sort of submission there. I'm not sure what he calls that. Indiz headed back into the ring. The count reaches 7. White Boy V slow to get back to his feet. The count reaches 8, and White Boy V makes it back in. White Boy V now trying to mount an offensive, but Dandiz double leg takedown now. Dandiz understandably upset here after last week's controversial loss. And it's very obvious to allow his anger to sort of perhaps impair his judgment. Or will the all-out rage and anger be enough to take him to a victory here this week over White Boy V? And is really taking it to White Boy V here this week. Count nears 8. The count almost reaches 9 before White Boy V gets back into the ring. White Boy V doesn't seem very phased so far. He's gonna get into that nice arm there. Dig deep into that shoulder and a roll-up. Roll-up attempt. Misses its mark and a spine buster by Dandiz. Big kick to the head now. Dandiz tries to take control. Reverse as the slam misses. Down goes Dandiz. This neck whip into a side headlock now. Dandiz trying to get back to his feet. Then he breaks the hold. An elbow drove deep into the midsection of White Boy. Manages to break the hold. Whip off the ropes. Dandiz finds himself into an elbow at the hands of White Boy. Capture suplex. Dandiz could be in a little bit of trouble right here. There it is. That's it. That's what's known as the white line. Two. Near 3 count. White Boy V will definitely be looking out for the eye driver if he's going to be able to put Dandiz away for good. Uh-oh, Dandiz catches White Boy V for DT. Diz hooks the leg, and this could be it. 2, 3, 4 DT. Hits its mark. Bullseye, dead center. As Diz takes out White Boy V in an instant. Out of nowhere. Let's take a look at that replay. Diz coming out victorious. Again, after a controversial loss this past week to White Boy V. And get ready, because up next we have today's main event. The GWA World Champion will face off in a non-title matchup against Juno. And here we are, main event is about to get underway in a non-title matchup. Making his way to the ring. The other man who will be putting his beard on the line in Champions Alliance Wrestling's upcoming Beardageddon. Juno. And here comes Champions Alliance Wrestling World Champion Omega Stig makes his way to the ring. Main event, here we go. The Elite Stars, Omega Stig, Juno is getting underway. Juno getting started early, going to work on that shoulder. Lock it up. Stig works his way into a side headlock. Pushed away off against the ropes. Wow. Big hip toss by Juno. Juno now starting to gain a little bit of momentum here early on in this matchup. Big elbow now as Juno continues his assault here against the champion. The win here today for Juno would, of course, be great positioning for a potential contention going forward. Be interesting to see if Juno can go toe-to-toe with the current champ. Omega Stig now continuing to go to work. Juno trying to find an opening here. Juno sets up. Juno gets caught with a suplex. Omega Stig with a cover. 2, and this could be... No. Juno looking for that. No, the fake out. Juno hits with that devastating forearm into the back of the skull of Omega Stig, and he could be out cold. No. Obviously confused as to how that didn't get the 3 count. Omega Stig pushes Juno away. Wow, down goes Juno. This could be it, the Omega's Edge. Down goes Juno. Juno gets hit. Omega's Edge. That could be it. No, a 2 count. Face first slam down to the mat. Juno gets caught. Omega Stig heads to the outside. Perhaps Omega Stig has other plans for Juno here as he tears apart our announce table. Omega Stig trying to set something up here. Juno! Uh-oh. No. No. Omega Stig, the champ, is in trouble. This could be bad news. Whoa! Juno mocking Dan Diz with a 4DT to Omega Stig on the table. Juno with an obvious message trying to be sent to Dan Diz, using, perhaps taunting Dan Diz, using that 4DT to Omega Stig, driving him through the table with it. Imperfect plex. Omega Stig 2. No, not able to keep it in. Juno now with a clothesline, but it's blocked by Omega Stig. Omega Stig! Big suplex now. Both of these guys extremely slow to get back to their feet. Juno with a cover out of nowhere. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Omega Stig sets up here. The second Omega's Edge setup And down goes Juno. That has got to be it. There's no way he can survive to Omega's Edge. 2 and 3. No, whoa. What is going on? Omega Stick telling the ref, count for Christ's sakes. Omega Stick 2, 3, and Omega Stick puts the nail in the coffin, but he has to use a second imperfect plex to get it done. Here we see Juno mocking Dan Diz as he uses his signature move, the move that Dan Diz calls 4DT, to put Omega Stick through the table. However, it wasn't enough after multiple Omega's Edge